What up, the New World, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN Report, man. Make sure y'all sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716, laying out exactly why he should be removed from that platform. He is a danger to us, to the people abroad, to immigrants, to our own U.S. troops, man. Like, come on, let's put everything in perspective. Get him the fuck up off of that platform. Remember, whoever's managing that account. Now, check this out. Over in Israel, or actually in the Gaza Strip, Israel actually launched air raids on Saturday throughout the Gaza Strip, certain parts of it. And then later that night at the Gaza Strip, there were actually 3 Palestinians that were killed. Now, they were believed to be Palestinian militants, according to sources at Hamas, but they were acting independently. They weren't acting on behalf of Hamas or Palestine specifically, not in unification. And also yesterday, Benjamin Netanyahu actually said that he's prepared to launch a whole military operation in Gaza. So they've already been catching a lot of bodies from the Palestinians. So for him to say that, who knows what that can lead to or how many deaths that's going to cause. Green War and Graduation. What up, the New World, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN Report, man. Make sure y'all sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716. It is imperative. We must remove him or whoever's managing that account from that platform, because they continue to put us, people abroad, U.S. troops in danger. It's all laid out in that change.org link that you'll find on my Instagram bio. Now check this out. My Palestinian city is a hashtag that was actually trending all this weekend. It means my Palestinian grandmother, and this was all put out along with pictures of Palestinian grandmothers in order to support Congressmember Rashida Tlaib, who was actually, along with Representative Ilhan Omar, them 2 women being the first 2 Muslim Congress members in the United States, amid them being banned from entry into Israel after Trump actually publicly urged Israel to deny them entry due to their support of the BDS movement, or boycott, divestment, and sanctions. Now, Tlaib was actually granted a waiver in order to go and actually see her 90-year-old ailing grandmother, but she refused, and basically made a quote from put out a quote from Desmond Tutu or whatever, basically saying, like, I'm paraphrasing, but I don't want the crumbs of compassion that come from people who think they're my superior. Like, I want the full menu of rights, basically. So some real shit. And Tlaib's grandmother, Muftia Tlaib, actually spoke out and said, "May God ruin them." I don't know who she was talking about. Probably about Netanyahu and Trump. You know what I mean? Green War and Graduation. The New World, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN Report, man. Make sure y'all sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716, lays out exactly why he should be removed from the platform, from inciting violence, the cyberbullying, and all of that, man. Putting us in danger, U.S. troops, people abroad. Are you kidding me? He's got to go, especially without any accountability. I mean, he's King Troll out, this motherfucker. Now, keep in mind that he even furthered this more by, on Saturday, talking about how he tweeted that major consideration is being given to Antifa being labeled a terror organization and a domestic terror group, that and that he was keeping his eyes on what was going on in Portland, Oregon, because in Portland, Oregon, you actually had the Proud Boys, Patriot Prayer, a bunch of right-wing organizations actually had, talking about hundreds of people got together for this rally that they called End Domestic Terrorism, where they were being marched around by police and all of that, whatever, and they were met with counter protesters and outnumbered, actually, but there was no crazy scenarios, but 13 people were arrested. You had weapons being confiscated and all of that shit, but all of this, in the organizer of the rally, Joe Biggs, actually said that it was a success because Trump actually tweeted about it. He was like, that's what we wanted, national recognition. You have a lot of right-wing motherfuckers that's talking about how Antifa is short for anti-fascist, that for these people to be considered terror groups, even though they're responsible for 0 deaths or any real gun violence or anything like that. Now, when is being anti-fascist a problem? These are the times we in, yo. Green War and Graduation. Well, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN Report, man. Make sure y'all sign my petition too. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716, lays out exactly why he should be removed from the platform, including inciting violence and inspiring white supremacists like this motherfucker I'm about to talk about right now. James Patrick Patrick Reardon from Ohio, 20 years old, was actually caught out there putting an Instagram post last month that showed somebody shooting a semi-auto weapon and the sirens and all of that in the background. The caption read, they found out that it was the shooter, the Youngstown shooter of the Jewish Family Community Center was Seamus O'Riordan. And it caused the FBI to actually raid his house, and they found a bunch of ammunition and weapons and gas masks, a bulletproof vest, and all of that shit, right? So then over in Florida, 25-year-old Tristan Wick Scott actually got caught texting his girlfriend that basically he wanted to commit a mass shooting, and that, you know, school would be too easy. He wanted to hit a large crowd of people from over 3 miles away, break a world record for the largest confirmed kill ever. They arrested his ass on Friday. And then even Brandon Wagshaw, 22 years old, in Connecticut, was actually arrested after posting something on Facebook suggesting that he was ready to commit a mass murder. So possibly 3 mass murders were thwarted. Who's inspiring these people? You know what I mean? Who's paying these people? Greenwald and Graduate. The New World Order, Bishop Grady Land. Y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. Make sure y'all sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio. GradyGrant716 lays out exactly why he should be removed from that fucking platform, man. Including violating Twitter policies and inciting violence and cyberbullying and all that. He's king troll of this shit, man. Putting us, people abroad, U.S. troops in danger and everything, man. Get him or whoever's managing that account the fuck off of the platform. Now check this out. Captain Thomas Woodward, who actually was a correctional officer at Wyatt, the for-profit Wyatt Detention Center in Rhode Island, had actually resigned. I told y'all last week about how he actually rammed his pickup truck into a crowd of protesters, the Never Again Action protesters, a bunch of Jewish people who actually have been advocating for the rights of immigrants that have been detained, or these asylum seekers that have actually been put in these detention centers or whatever and treated horribly, as we know, in a lot of cases. So so he does that, you know what I mean? He sends a couple people to the hospital, including the old dude fractured his leg and turned him bleeding and all that. Dude, 60-something years old. So they had suspended him, but he actually resigned. So good riddance to that racist motherfucker. If he's doing that to white people, imagine what he's doing to these colored folks that's in these detention centers when no one's watching. He's doing that to white people in front of cameras. Like, think about it. Greenwald and Graduate. The New World Order, Bishop Grady Land. Y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. Make sure y'all sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, man. GradyGrant716 lays out exactly why he needs to be removed off of the freaking platform, man. He keeps putting us, people abroad, in danger. He's just sitting in too high of a position to do some of the crash things that he does from behind that Twitter account. He's king troll. You know what I'm saying? He got way too much power for that shit. Now check this out, though. This is Daniel Pantaleo, back in 2014, is an officer in NYPD in Staten Island, who actually put Eric Garner, rest in peace, put him in a fatal chokehold, took his life away. You know what I'm saying? Holmes was unarmed. Holmes didn't do anything, actually. They thought he was selling Lucy, but he wasn't. And check this out. And after that happened, he was investigated, Pantaleo, and he actually lied, said he didn't do any illegal chokehold, despite the shit being caught on camera and going viral. You know what I'm saying? Now, NYPD Judge Rosemary Maldonado actually found that, you know, because of that, he was untruthful in his account, and, you know what I mean, clearly self-serving or whatever, recommended that he should be fired, and actually put those findings in a legal opinion that was actually published in the New York Times. So, but the real decision on whether Pantaleo, who hasn't been fired or arrested or anything like that, whatever, the real decision on whether he'll be fired to keep his job actually lies on the NYPD Commissioner, James O'Neill, and he's going to make that at the end of the month. Hopefully, they get him the fuck out of here. Greenwald and Graduate. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady Land. Y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. Make sure y'all sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. You can find the change.org link in the Instagram bio, GradyGrant716. Now, over in Afghanistan, now keep in mind that the United States has actually been negotiating with the Taliban out in Qatar, or whatever, hoping to bring peace in Afghanistan. And it's supposed to include the Afghan government, or at least in the past, earlier this year, these peace talks have included the Afghan government, or have been encouraging the Taliban and the Afghan government to actually be in communications. But these past negotiations haven't included the Afghan government. So that's just a little sidebar. But today actually marks the 100th Independence Day anniversary for Afghanistan. But yet, today there was actually a series of like attacks and airstrikes that took place in the eastern city of Jalalabad that actually injured 66 people, bombing at restaurants and other public spaces. But keep in mind that Saturday was very bloody after attacks that were claimed by Islamic State or ISIS or whatever. These attacks had actually it was a suicide bombing that took place at a wedding that ended up killing 63 people and injuring 200. So shit is wild over there. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. Make sure y'all sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. You can find the change.org link in my Instagram bio. GradyGrant716 lays out exactly why you should be removed from the platform, including violating Twitter policies now, and also putting us U.S. troops, people abroad in danger. Like, come on, this has to be, especially to do so without having to be accountable for the things that you're tweeting. At least when you say it in person, people could check you right then and there. So we got to cut that out, especially from this crass-ass celebrity in chief, as Charlemagne the God calls him. Now check this out. In Hong Kong, though, this is 11 weeks of pro-democracy protesting that's been going on, where it initially started out against the extradition bill that Chief Executive of Hong Kong, Carrie Lam, introduced, that basically says if you catch a case in Hong Kong, you can be extradited to China to have to deal with that case, even though China and Hong Kong, they have a one country, two system situation over there. Like, so people in Hong Kong, even though Hong Kong is engulfed by China, they're completely against it and have protested against that. They wanted Carrie Lam to be removed from office because she didn't remove the bill completely after protest. She suspended it, and people still weren't having that. And now it's been like such a crackdown by police forces, local officials. China has military that's actually outside of Hong Kong along the border. They've even threatened to jail some of these protesters with life, especially when they were shutting down the airports last week. So shit is getting real, even with yesterday 1.7 million people hit the streets to protest. Green Wall and Graduation. This report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. Make sure y'all sign my petition too. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio. GradyGrant716 lays out exactly why you should be removed from the platform, including violating Twitter policies. Jack Dorsey, you the CEO, man, make a move. You see the damage that's being done just from the Twitter account. Like, at least put a stop to that. Now, check this out though, over in Kashmir. So Kashmir, the Muslim majority region, actually has an Indian-controlled part of the country that has been under lockdown for the past 2 weeks. Now, people have been up in arms about it. I mean, Pakistan is calling for the United Nations Security Council to actually step in with this lockdown. This lockdown is some serious shit. You're talking about having people not able to leave or even move about the house, move about the country, except for like a half hour out of the 24-hour day. You even have people that have gone over there and said, like, kids have even been arrested as an act of intimidation and all of that or whatever. But apparently there were people protesting during the lockdown, and one person was actually killed, dozens injured from there being like tear gas and pellets shot down and all types of shit like that. So people are really cracking down on this area, the Indian forces that is. So we'll see what happens. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. Sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. You can find the change.org link in my Instagram bio. GradyGrant716 laying out exactly why he should be removed from the platform. He is a danger. Him or whoever is managing that account. To us, the U.S. troops, people abroad, it's got to be put to an end, especially being able to say whatever without any accountability. We cutting that shit out. Now, I've told y'all about this Iranian oil tanker that was actually seized by British Marines and actually had stayed in Gibraltar. Now, I told y'all about this. They seized it because they thought the tanker was actually in violation of the European Union sanctions against the code that they actually had in place, where it was preventing oil from being delivered to Syria, and that's what they thought the tanker was trying to do. So they seized it, but yesterday they actually released it, even after the U.S. was actually trying to keep the tanker in Gibraltar and seize it, because the U.S. has sanctions against Iran and Iran's Revolutionary Guard. But they said that the sanctions that the U.S. has doesn't apply in the EU. So there goes that. But we'll see what happens. Iran actually warned the U.S. not to take this tanker, but the U.S. already doing so much other provocative shit. We'll see what happens, man. Green Wall and Graduation.